today, the things that we discussed in the last class are the multiple access techniques, and the meaning of this multiple access techniques is nothing but as the demand of the channels are going to be increased a lot. So to utilize, to provide the access to the many number of users by the satellite or to the earth stations is nothing but the multiple access techniques that we are going to use. That means that the signal is going to be divided either by the frequency or by the division of the time, or without these two, frequency and time, it is going to be given a code to the different users, so that we can give the we can share the communication to the different earth stations users. Hello. Please, all of you mute your mobile phones. Please do that. So here, multiple access technique. Multiple access means, multiple means the many number of users are going to access to the satellite. It is nothing but many number of users can have the access to the satellite. So here the satellite resources such as the frequency and time, those are going to be splitted or divided either by considering the frequency or by considering the time, or by giving the codes to that. If you give the codes to that, where we need to consider the spread spectrum concept there to provide the codes to that, and that way we can we have the different types of the multiple access techniques. And in the last class, broadly we have discussed the two types briefly, the frequency division multiple access and the time division multiple access. It is nothing but the frequency has been, if you consider the x-axis and y-axis in the last class I have given you, you can see that the frequency has been splitted or has been divided. The whole frequency has been splitted into a number of frequency ranges. The complete frequency spectrum has been divided into number of frequency ranges, and each frequency range can be allocated to a particular user. So therefore, here anybody can have the access the satellite. Anybody can have the access of the satellite, but with a fixed frequency. It is with a fixed frequency. So whereas in time division multiple access, so here the complete time slot has been divided into the different time slots. Slot 1. So in that slot 1 only, the user can access that slot. Slot 2, after completion of slot 1 only, the slot 2. So it depends on the demand, either the frequency or frequency can be allocated, depends on the demand. Which frequency slot, which frequency range has to be allocated to the to which user, that depends on the demand at that time. So therefore, the frequency allocation and the time slots are going to be considered here for time division multiplexing and the frequency division multiple access. So of course, this multiple access is nothing but the application of the multiplexing. It is the application of the multiplexing. The multiplexing is nothing but the many number of signals are multiplied and transmitted through a single channel. That is the multiplexing. Different signals are going to be multiplied and transmitted through a single channel. So here that the frequency spectrum of that is going to be splitted and divided, and on the basis of the time slot, or on the basis of the frequency, or on the basis of the this code, it can be accessed by the number of users. So if you consider the mobile communications from the base station, this depends on this multiple access techniques. The simultaneously many number of users can access the data or access the signal. So now I am going to share the screen, and now we are going to see. Yesterday we talked about the only TDMA and FDMA. CDMA briefing we are going to see, and then we are going to study about the FDMA. So now I am going to sharing the screen. So now this is what I'm going to close this video, and now this is what we have discussed in the last class. So what do you mean by this multiple access? The meaning of this is, in fact, it is a technique in which the satellite resources such as the bandwidth and the time is divided into a number of non-overlapping segments. Each segment is allocated exclusively to each of the large number of earth stations. So now let's go. This is all already discussed, and this is what just you can see the figures here. So by looking into this one, frequency and time slot, it is nothing but the time has been divided into number of slots. Therefore, it is a time division multiple axis. So slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, and the frequency will be the same. Whereas in the frequency division multiple axis, the frequency has been divided. Just you can look into this diagram, and then you can have the idea of this one. What is this and this one? So in this, just I am going to show you this diagram. Then I will move to the next one. So where you can see here, the frequency in y-axis, the frequency is there, and that is divided into number of frequency bands, or the number of frequency ranges. So one frequency range has been allotted to a user 1. Frequency band 2 is allotted to a user 2, and so on to the n users. The available frequency spectrum has been divided into a n number of frequency bands, and each band can be allocated to each user. So here it is very clearly said that no two users cannot be allocated the same frequency band. Frequency band is not allocated to a user 2 and the user 3, for example. So the same frequency cannot be allocated to the two users. It is individually one frequency band to the one user only. So like this, frequency has been divided. In the time division case, it is time has been divided. Now let us go to the what is called code division multiple axis. So now this one is the code division multiple axis. So now here in that case, the time has been divided. In the other case, frequency has been divided. In fact, the frequency division multiple axis is used in the first generation, and the time division multiple axis techniques are used in the second generation, and of course this CDMA is used in the third generation. And the code division multiple axis in CDMA, code division multiple axis techniques, all the users transmit to the satellite on the same frequency at the same time. So here frequency division, particular frequency slot has been allotted. In time division, a particular time slot has been allotted to the users. But here, on the same frequency, all the time, the users can have the access or can transmit the signal to the satellite that is on the same frequency at the same time. All the time they can access. So here, but how can you distinguish? How can you differentiate the users? So it is the process that each data or whatever that we are going to transmit is being given a specific code. So now here to provide the code, we are going to use the spread spectrum technique. Generally, we are going to use this one, spread spectrum technique. So therefore, CDM is also called a spread spectrum technique or the multiple access technique. So where what is the point here you need to consider is user one and user. Yes. Please see, the earth station transmits orthogonally coded spread spectrum signals that can be separated at the receiving earth station by the correlation. So at the transmitting end, you are going to provide the one code, and to having the correlation with that code which is transmitted from the earth station, and having that correlation with the transmitted code, this receiver is going to separates or retrieves that signal. And CDMA is inherently a digital technique. So CDMA is inherently a digital technique. Please see, this is the digital. TDMA also digital. FDMA either digital or the analog, particularly the analog. So now here, just you can see the message signal is multiplied by a very large bandwidth signal called the spread spectrum signal. Just we are conveniently, we are going to say that a code has been given to that. So now please, here is the point present in the CDMA. Please see, a message signal is multiplied by a very large bandwidth signal called the spread spectrum. That means that here one data has been transmitted, and further it is going to be multiplied by a PN sequence generator. PN sequence, one separate code is going to be generated, and that is going to be multiplied with that data, and then it is modulated by the carrier signal, and then it transmits. So for that PN sequence generator will be having one code. So that code is being allotted to the message signal. So here the point is the message signal is multiplied by a bandwidth signal called the spread spectrum signal. It is a code, pin code I have mentioned here. One code will be given or multiplied to this message signal. So now here, the next one is all users uses the same carrier frequency. So what is happening? Let us please, all of you follow this one. So this is the data, this one line, horizontal line I'm telling, this is the data. And below here is a PN sequence generator, one code that we have mentioned here, that large bandwidth signal called the spread spectrum signal with a code. Here is the data, here is the spread spectrum or the PN sequence generator, and these two are multiplied. This data and these two are multiplied, and that multiplied signal will be modulated by the carrier signal. Here it is modulated by the carrier signal, and then it is transmitted. So therefore, all users uses the same carrier frequency. Here is the modulated. After multiplying this message signal with the pin code or the code, spread spectrum code signal, after that multiplication, the carrier signal is going to be used for the modulation. So therefore, for all users will be using the same carrier frequency. That's what is, all users uses the same carrier frequency and it transmits them simultaneously. User one, this is message signal one, PN sequence code multiplies, and here it is modulated, and one more message signal with that another code by the PN generator is going to produce the different code. So you might have studied this spread spectrum technique in the digital communications. Here we are going to use that one. That's what is the code is going to be allotted. Therefore, here just you can see this diagram, user 1 and user 2 and so on to the user n, they have been allotted a C1, C2, these are the codes, C1, C2 and so on to the Cn codes are going to be allotted to these users. Therefore, at any time with the same carrier frequency, with the same frequency, they can access the satellite and but they will be allotted the particular code, and that code signal can be retrieved by having the correlation with the transmitter. That code can be retrieved at the receiving side. So that is what is the here, as you know, that no guard bands are required. In this case, there is no question of guard bands, whereas in the TDMA and FDMA, the guard bands are essential because to avoid the interference between the two adjacent channels, whether in TDMA or whether in FDMA, guard band frequencies or guard band signals are essential. So as I said repeatedly in the last class, and the guard bands are essential for avoiding the interfering or the cross talk between the adjacent channels. And let's go to the, now here it is the advantages of the CDMA, code division multiple access. Here all the terminals, the users can use the same frequency. No planning is required. Like in other TDMA and FDMA, there is no planning is required. So all the terminals can use the same frequency. Same frequency all the time. Same frequency all the time. That is possible in case of the CDMA. And number two is huge code space, that is 2 power 32 bits, that kind of a code space is available compared to the frequency space. In this case, the CDMA, the code space is very much large, that is 2 power 32 bit size of the code space is available. So now here the interference is not coded, interference is not here. That signal interference code is not coded in this case, therefore interference will be less here. And the fourth one is the forward error correction and the encryption can be easily integrated. So here the error correction, forward error correction and the encryption of the data can be easily integrated. Just you can go through those advantages. And coming to the disadvantages, higher complexity of the receiver, because as I said earlier, here it is a message signal and the code signal, both are going to be multiplied and then modulated by the carrier signal or carrier frequency, and a particular PN sequence generator has given one code to that. So in the receiver side and in the receiving side, you must have the correlation with the transmitter, and in the same way you have to extract that code and to result the message signal that has been transmitted, that has been intended to transmit. So to extract that one, to separate that code, so the receiver complexity has become the complexity is increased here. So higher complexity of your receiver is present here. Receiver cannot just listen into the medium and start receiving if there is a signal. It's not like that. So there is a signal present in the medium, just take it and start taking that or receiving that signal, but it has to take that and convert that into a extract that signal and then give the resultant message signal. And now all the signals should have the same strength at the receiver. So now here, whatever the signal strength, signal codes that have been received, the signals that have been received by the receiver, and all the code signals must have the same signal strength is the another disadvantage, because it is not all the time possible that all the codes received by the receiving earth station is receiving the user or the mobile station not be the all the time same signal strength. So now that is what about the CDMA, code division multiple access. And now we shall see the FDMA, frequency division multiple access, in detail. So briefly, what did we study till now is the multiple access and the basic multiple access technique. There are many other multiple access techniques out there, but these are called as a basic multiple access techniques, and we briefly given what are the meaning and their advantages and the disadvantages. Now we are going to study them in detail. So in that, the first one is the frequency division multiple access. And before we see the frequency division multiple access, FDMA, so we must know what we mean by the briefing, briefly about the multiplexing as well as the multiple access and the multiplexing. So let us see, the simple diagram will illustrate you about the clear picture of what is the multiplexing and what do you mean by the multiple access. So now here you can see multiplexing means the mixing. So here you can see this is the user 1, user 2, user 3 and user 4. This is transmitting this AA. Hello, please mute your mobile phones. So now the multiplexing or the mixing of signal, just you can see here user 1, 4 is AA, and user 2 BB only, user 3 is C, and user 4 is DD. So that means that your multiplexing, what is happening here is, so it is going to mix these all these 4 users signals or information in a stream of information over a same communication link, Let us say here A of the user 1, it is going to be mixed, and B, C and D. Therefore, the frame 1, so A, B, C, D, that is nothing but A, this B and C, D. The frame 1, it is mixed and transmitted. And frame 2, in this case, the second one is the A, B, in the second one is not there. Therefore, A, B, it is not there. And second one is D is here, there is, it is D. The third one, A is there. In this case, B is not there and C is not there and D is there. So A, not there, and D. And the fourth one is A is there, nothing is there. So like that here, all the users data is going to be mixed up here, multiplexed and transmitted in the same channel. So now here is the way of, the multiplexing is the way of sending the multiple signals. These are the multiple signals, A, B, C, D. Multiple signals are a stream of information. This is a stream of information or a communication link at the same time in the form of a single complex signal. This is called as a single complex signal, where all the users data is present in this frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. This is a single form, is the form of a single complex signal. This is the multiplexing. You are going to multiplex or mix these signals of the 3 or 4 different sources of the data or the information or the users, let us say. So multiple access. So if you consider this multiple access means having the probability to receive that access, is it right? Multiple means more than 2, more than 1, multiple, many number. So access. So now let us say this is the base station. Here it is, the signals has been radiated into the space, and the multiple access means here is the user 1, user 2, user 3 and user 4. All the people can have the access simultaneously here. It is a technique User to allow multiple users, user 1 to user 4 in this case, to access the channel at the same time. At the same time, user 1, user 2, user 3, all the 4 users are accessing the channel at the same time. Channel at the same time without any interference. That is what is the point. Without any interference. Suppose if it is a frequency division multiple access, in the same time, user 1, one frequency range or one frequency channel, another frequency channel, another frequency channel, and another frequency channel at the same time without any interference. This is the user 1, one frequency band of the signal, another frequency band of the signal, user 2, another band of the signal frequency, user 3, another band of signal frequency, user 4. So at a time, 4 users are accessing without any interference, multiple access. But the frequency of this signal or the frequency spectrum of that has been divided. This is what is called as a multiple access. At the same time, all the users can have the access without interference. In other words, you can say that multiple access is a application of the multiplexing. Here just we can say A, B, C, D all are mixed. A, B, C, D all are mixed. But here multiple access, A is separated, B, C and D. Different users, is it right? So here user 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. User 1, user 2, user. Here they are mixed. Here they are separated. In other words, you can say that. So now here multiple users can access the channel, or in other words, transponder of the satellite. If you consider the satellite communications, transponder of the satellite can access by the users or by the group of earth stations. This is what is the multiple access. Here it is multiplexing added. Here it is separated. In simplest way, you can remember that. You can be able to know that. So now here multiple access is nothing but it is enabling multiple users to access the channel between the base station and the mobile stations. Base station is the mobile station or the users are this. So it is nothing but a technique which enables the multiple users. By using a multiple access technique, the technique is enabling the multiple users to have the channel sharing, can have the access to the channel between the earth station, between the base station and the users. So as I said earlier, there are already, it is repeated, multiple access technique. Basically there are 3 multiple access techniques are there, TDMA, FDMA, TDMA and CDMA, as stated earlier. And now if you see the frequency division multiple access technique, so now let us consider this is all the frequency spectrum available. Let us say the entire available radio spectrum is divided into several frequency ranges. So let us say the frequency range is here, and the frequency range of this extreme left side user 1 is the frequency range 1. In between the range 2 has been given to user 2. Frequency range 3 has been given to user 3, and frequency range 4 has been given to user 4. So vertical dotted lines I have made over this entire radio spectrum. This is nothing but this vertical dotted lines. Those 2 lines indicates the God band signals or God band signal or God band. So here, what is happening? Frequency division multiple access. Frequency has been splitted. So the range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4, etc. Range 1 allotted to the user 1, range 2 allotted to the user 2, range 3 allotted to the user 3, and so on and so forth. As I said earlier, guard bands are used here to avoid the interference. All those points you are aware of that. And now here, each and every user is differentiated in terms of the frequency. So it is called the frequency division multiple access. Each user is differentiated by the frequencies. So here you can see the frequency is very, very less in this case, user 1. So here you can see the frequency range is a little bit higher than the user 1. So here the frequency range is, frequency range of the user 3 is a little bit higher than the user 2. And the user 4 I have not mentioned here, the frequency range of the user 4 is a little bit higher than the frequency range of the user 3. Therefore, each and every user is differentiated in terms of their frequencies. Therefore, it is called the frequency division multiple access. Hence, you can call it as a frequency division multiple access. And guard bands are placed to avoid the interference. So now the general representation of this is, you can say this is the code division, time and the frequency, the channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, this is nothing but the frequency. Frequency has been divided into number of channels, or in other words, number of frequencies only here. Frequencies, channel 1, different frequency, channel 2, another different frequency, channels 3, and so on. So like that, the frequency has been splitted, the entire frequency, but the time, at any time, it can be accessed. It can access at any time. So now the formal way of representing the FDMA, which helps to understand the concept of how the channels are allocated for the users. So that's what that figure. And where you can see x-axis indicates y-axis and z-axis time, frequency, and code. That's what is mentioned here. X-axis, frequency, y-axis, z-axis, code. The channel allocated to user 1, channel 2 allocated to the user 2, and so on to channel n allocated to the user n. Like that, here just you can look into this one. Channel 1 allocated to the user 1, channel 2 allocated to the user 2, channel 3 allocated to the user 3, and so on to channel n allocated to the user n. So that maybe depends on the time slot, maybe it depends on the frequency, or maybe by giving the codes, maybe giving the codes. So now that's what how the channels can be allocated. So now if you see the some important features of this frequency division multiple access, FDMA assigns individual channels to the individual users. So here there is no ambiguity at all. FDMA frequency division multiple access assigns individual channels to the individual users. There is no ambiguity on this. And each user allocated a unique frequency band or a channel. That is also very clear. Each user allocated a unique frequency. Frequency range 1, frequency range 2, frequency range 3, where I have mentioned that the time period is very large, that is the user 1 or the frequency range 1. Time period is little bit lesser than the 1. Like that, in the whole entire frequency spectrum has divided into number of frequency ranges. Similarly here, each user is allocated to a unique frequency band or a channel. So the channels are assigned on demand by the users. So channel, that means that frequency range 1 must always be allotted to the user 1, and channel frequency range 2 must always be allotted to the channel user 2. Is not like that. Depends on the demand. Any frequency range or a channel can be allocated to the user, any user. So depends on the demand only, the particular frequency channel or the frequency band is allocated to the user. So channels are assigned on demand by the users. the same frequency is not allotted for the two different users, as I said earlier. The bandwidth of FDMA channel is relatively narrow, that is the 30 kilohertz. So what is the bandwidth of the FDMA? That means the entire radio frequency spectrum has been divided into number of frequency ranges. That means that here the entire frequency band of the satellite transponder, that radio frequency spectrum has been divided into number of channels, you can say, number of frequency ranges, and that the entire bandwidth has been divided, and that frequency is that each range frequency or each bandwidth of the channel is relatively narrow, and it is approximately 30 kilohertz. It is very, very small, 30 kilohertz. So the bandwidth of FDMA, the bandwidth of FDMA channel is relatively narrow, that is 30 kilohertz, relatively narrow. Therefore, FDMA multiple access techniques, frequency division multiple techniques are usually implemented in a narrow band systems, because it is going to have the very narrow channel bandwidth, 30 kilohertz. Therefore, this FDMAs are implemented in a narrow band systems. So the amount of the inter-symbol interference is low. So in this case, interference, what is this inter-symbol interference? This ISI is low in this case. So the FDMA uses duplexer, since both the transmitter and receiver operates at the same time. So it results in the increase of the cost. So duplexes are going to be used, therefore it is the increase of the results are going to take place. So now here, FDMA requires the high quality of radio frequency filtering. High quality of radio frequency filtering to minimize the adjacent channel interference. That means that the quality of filters are required in the FDMA multiple frequency division multiple access technique requires the high quality of the filter action is required. Therefore, the cost of that is going to be increased. So now the formula, simple formulas related to this FDMA is what could be the spectral efficiency of the FDMA? Spectral efficiency of the FDMA, eta m, it is nothing but a spectral efficiency of the FDMA is given by NE by BSA. So now the simple formulas related to this, just I have given the two formulas here. The spectral efficiency and the number of channels. So spectral efficiency eta m is NE by BSA, where NE is nothing but the number of channels and BS is the bandwidth and A is the area of the service. Within that what area of the service, that will give the spectral efficiency NE by BSA. And number of channels is nothing but how many channels can be allocated. Number of channels is given by N channel, number of channels is equals to BT minus 2B God by BCH. So where BT is the total bandwidth available minus 2B God. God is nothing but the God bandwidth. B God is nothing but the 2 into B God. B God is the God bandwidth and BCH is the channel bandwidth. Channel bandwidth, available total bandwidth, this is the God bandwidth. Therefore, BT minus 2B God by BCH will give you the number of channels can be allocated. Number of channels can be allocated. Hello, please, you see that the PPTs are given to you and video lectures are also available in the unlisted YouTube, just you can go through them. Somebody is asking that YouTubes are not available. Please see that. So now those two are the formulas related to that. Now the extensions to this again, the same thing, frequency division multiple access. The most widely used of the multiple access technique is the FDMA. In FDMA, the available satellite bandwidth is divided into number of portions. So now please see here, the available bandwidth of the satellite. In other words, the bandwidth of the transponder is divided into number of portions of non-overlapping frequency slots. Non-overlapping frequency slots, which are assigned exclusively to individual earth stations, which are exclusively to the earth stations. A basic diagram of a FDM satellite system is shown here. It is nothing but the simple diagram only. It has been considered here. Just you can look into this one. Here, now here just you can see here, this is the FDMA technique. Here it is the one frequency band from this earth station has been transmitted, and the another frequency band of the signals, and so on to the n number of frequency band signals are transmitted to this, and satellite is going to receive this one and retransmits back to the earth station. So now here just you can see this figure is nothing but FDMA technique is used in Intelsat two and 3 and SCPC satellite system, and also used in space. The space stands for signal channel for carrier PCM multiple access technique and access demand assignment equipment, space full form, used in the Intelsat 4, in which the channels are assigned on the demand to earth stations is considered as a FDMA system. So in FDMA system, multiple signals from the same or the different earth stations with a different carrier, with the different carriers or with the different carrier frequencies are simultaneously pass through the satellite transponder. Because of the non-linear mode of the transponder, FDMA signals interact with each other, causing the intermodulation products. Intermodulation products is nothing but the noise, intermodulation noise, which are all the signals at the combinations of some and the different frequencies. So now just you go through this. So now in this, what did we study in this? To sum up of this, to close this class, the briefing of the CDMA we have studied. So it is nothing but in very broad sense, same frequency all the time can be possible in the CDMA, but each user has been assigned a separate code. So therefore, this code is going to be generated and assigned to the each user, and this is possible by using the pseudo PN sequence. Pseudo random noise signal noise code is going to be generated and assigned to the each user. So therefore, it is called as a spread spectrum access technique also. It can also be called like that. So now when you are discussing in detail that CDMA will come across that, how the codes are going to be assigned to the user data or to the users. So then the frequency division multiple axis, and this way you can see that the complete spectrum of the radio frequency can be split into the number of frequency ranges, and each frequency range is allocated to the each user. And what are the some important features of this FDMA are listed out here, and some of the two formulas. What is the spectral efficiency of the FDMA, and how many number of channels can be present in the FDMA is depends on this formula BT minus 2B God by BCH. BT is the total bandwidth, God bandwidth, and the channel bandwidth depends on that. We have given these formulas, and then the same FDMA, I consider it from the other book, just has taken that as it is the satellite communication. Here, all these different frequency ranges from the earth stations are transmitted, or nothing but it is the frequency 1 and frequency 2 and frequency and so on, the frequency n are going to be transmitted, and again the satellite receives that one, and the bandwidth of the transponder is split again into the number of portions of that entire frequency band of the transponder, and then it can be transmitted back to the earth station. And modulation noise can also be possible because the transponder itself is a non-linear device. Because of that non-linearity, this intermodulation noise can also be present. So now with this, I can close the class here, and now we can see the next, probably the TDMA. Please, all of you go through this these topics so that you can have the more knowledge on these topics. Please go through the Timothy Pratt book. Please, all of you go through that. Get the more knowledge on these things. So now I'm going to close the class here. Now you can leave the meeting. Hello? Yes, I'm closing the class here.